Hello, everybody. This is Jay from JWINK Reviews. I'm reviewing today something a little different. I'm reviewing G3 Adventures, who operate out of Lafayette, Georgia, and the Pigeon Cave Mountain, uh, I guess, caving exploration that they take you on there. Um, I want to review both the G3 tours and both Pigeon Cave Mountain. I want to start out by saying that Pigeon Cave Mountain is not like a what I would call a tourist cave. So I mean, this is a real, as you can see from the opening sequence, a real, cavers type of cave. So you're gonna crawl, you're gonna get wet, you're gonna get dirty, all those kinds of things in this cave. So keep that in mind. This is not for a type of cave that you really should be going in by yourself unless you know the cave system, and definitely should be prepared to go into this cave because it's a very large cave. From what I understand, it's over 8 miles of caves, caverns, and passageways. You could very easily get lost if you're not properly equipped and you're not properly prepared and you don't know the cave system. Now, with that being said, I want to comment on G3 Adventures. They gave us a tour. There's one of their guides there. They gave us a tour of the Pigeon Cave. We took the 2-hour tour. They also have a 1-hour and a 4-hour. And we enjoyed it so much, I'm actually planning on going back on a 4-hour tour. So that kind of gives you an idea of where my rating's going to go with this. I want to make some comments early on, though, which I don't have in the video, but you meet at their facility in Lafayette, Georgia, which is an okay facility. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a great facility. Probably my main knock of the facility is the changing rooms is just basically a curtain with a little cutout closet type of thing. I kind of wish they had better changing facilities. They also have a small bathroom as well, but if it's crowded, you basically got a curtain. So, but you do need a change of clothes because, like I said, you do get wet, you do get dirty, and you do need a change. So, and again, make sure you dress appropriately. Jeans, good, hiking boots are best. Long sleeve shirt because, again, you're going to be on your hands and knees and elbows quite a bit. So be prepared for that. They do provide you the knee pads and a helmet. You might also want to bring, elbow pads, but they also provide a light as well on the helmet. Again, you might want to bring a spare light just in case. In this case, I'm using a sports camera to document some of the inside stuff that we're doing. And as you can see, there's some climbing involved. Again, crawling. You're going to go through some water. And if you go on the longer tour, the 4-hour, you're definitely going to go further down in the cave and get wet and muddy and muddier than what you do in the 2-hour or even the 1-hour. So again, I would consider it fairly challenging, especially if you're new to caving or if you're not experienced caver. But most people can do it. I mean, depending on your size and your age. I mean, for me, I'm a middle-aged guy, but I mean, I found it to be fun with, but still some exercise and strenuous at times, especially in some of the crawls. But again, for the facilities themselves of G3, I would give them about 4.5 stars. I really think out of 5, I think they should improve their changing part of their office. But they're relatively new to there, so maybe they'll improve that over time. Now, as far as the guides are concerned, we had 2 guides. I believe Jerry was one of them's name, and the young man, I can't quite remember his name off the top of my head, but they were awesome. They were fantastic guides. It was Jerry and Jake, I believe. I got that now. They were fantastic. They really care about the cave. They care about keeping the cave clean, which is awesome. Because one thing that I hate, I would consider myself a fairly medium experienced caver. I've done it since I was a kid. So, the one thing I hate is people to leave their garbage behind, people to mark up the cave. And they really seem to care about it. They clean it out. They take stuff out that's left behind there. We did find a few things left behind. It's not as bad as some caves that I've seen, but they do care about the cave, and they try to explain what's going on in various sections of the cave and tell some history of the cave, which is pretty cool. They're both very nice gentlemen, so you get lucky if you get those guys, because they were I consider awesome guides. For the guides themselves, I give 5 out of 5 stars because I think they were great and very caring guides, very personable guides, and were easy to talk to and chat with the whole way. I really enjoyed their part of the guiding tour that they do. And again, they put you through some challenges, but they don't try to force you into doing anything that you're not comfortable with. Like, there's a section called the pancake, which is literally a 12-inch by a 60-foot long space that you crawl through. And if you're not comfortable, they don't make you do it. For me, I thought it was fun, but some people weren't comfortable, and they didn't force them to do it. So I like that fact, and that the guides were very understanding of the needs and kind of went at the pace of the group. And again, explained what was going on in various sections of the cave and how to tackle certain areas, especially if you're inexperienced. We had 2 people that had never been in the caves before, ever been in a cave before, so it was all brand new to them. And again, they were very helpful at guiding them and helping them do what's appropriate. Because this is a kind of cave that you can get hurt in. I can't emphasize that enough. You can get hurt in this cave because there are some spots that are slick. There are spots where there's holes. There's spots you have to be really, really careful. So again, unless you're an experienced caver and experienced especially with the cave system here, take a guide with you. The pricing was fairly reasonable. It's $40 a person currently as of 2017. Fairly reasonable, I would think, for this type of 2-hour thing. They again, for 4 hours it's higher, of course, and you can get private tours or 1 hour or whatever. But really enjoyable with those guys. As far as the tour guides themselves, again, 5 out of 5 with that. Now, Pigeon Cave, again, as I've spoken to before, I would consider it somewhat challenging, and depending on, and there's a picture of Jerry as well there, one of our guides. Very challenging for a medium to inexperienced caver. Again, depending on how far you go, the areas you go, there's some tight spots. There's like there, I believe there's the pancake there, a picture of the pancake. So, it's got some spots that you crawl around and do all that kind of stuff. Again, the garbage wasn't too bad. There's lots of places to explore in there. You could stay in there 4 hours or longer if you really were in there. So again, it's a fun time. It's an enjoyable time. I think it was great. Again, but if you're going to do it without guides, make sure you're prepared. If you do go with the guides, again, bring, if you got a sports cam, take that with you. It's probably not good for regular cameras. It'll toast those pretty quick because you do bang around cameras, that kind of thing. And so you have to have something that's fairly sturdy or something that's got a case that protects the camera well. The caves themselves, I enjoyed. It's in a beautiful section of the North Georgia mountains. A very pretty section. And again, enjoyable. They also do other tours in Cloudgate Canyon, which I also recommend as far as hiking. I haven't done the cave there, but if it's anything like this, it's a lot of fun. So, again, overall, I think this is a great tour. It's a lot of fun. The caves themselves, I would give a 4.5 out of 5 as well. Mainly because, again, you've got some people in there. We ran across some people that were by themselves without flashlights, if you can believe that. Some of them have been in there a while, kind of lost, without the proper preparation. It's not that type of cave that you can go in and do that without running a high risk of getting hurt. But in it, of course, there was a little bit of garbage. But again, I like the fact that these guys took care of that. They seem to care about the cave. They seem to know the cave well, and they were a lot of fun. So, again, overall, I give G3 Adventures a 4.5 out of 5. I give the cave 4.5 out of 5. I give the tour guides themselves a 5 out of 5. I highly recommend them. They're a lot. It's a great time. If you like this type of outdoorsy adventure stuff, it's a fun time to to enjoy and have a good time. And G3 Adventures made it even more fun, and I highly recommend it. Again, check it out. This is JWINK Reviews. I'm signing off, but again, as considering it's a cave and I took pictures, so you have to forgive some of the dark spots. I tried to edit out as much as possible to kind of give you an idea of some of the tight spaces. Of course, I'm using a helmet lighting and a sports cam to document these different spots. So, I'm not a professional photographer by any means, and I try to give just a good idea of what it looks like, everything that's going on in there, how muddy you get, how dirty you get. Again, of course, the other thing is when you exit the cave, it's either kind of change out there by your vehicles or getting your vehicle muddy and either go back to the G3 store location and change, or again change there, because it's a natural area. There's no public restrooms, anything like that to change. So keep that in mind if you're doing that as well. So if you're the shy type, it may not be the type of adventure for you, especially if you don't want to get your car muddy and all that kind of thing. But again, an enjoyable time. Check out G3 Adventures. This is JWINK Reviews. Thank you for listening.